Okay, so we're here today with Krizstián Ban, an activist, a Hungarian activist, and also an artist. And you're actually specialized in social sculpture. Can you explain a little bit what that is?
About the social sculpture itself. Yes, I think that the idea came from Joseph Beuys, and this is art. Our art of the of formulating the common spaces in the physical and the non-physical aspects,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay, and so you're actually applying this concept of social sculpture to democratic activism movements.
Yes, in 2009, when the omnibus for direct democracy was here in Budapest, I was a student, and I took part in the event then, and it was an inspiring experience for me. And then in 2011. When the Occupy movement and first the Spanish Indignados came, I started to do some real activism, and I just stick to it.
So what are the biggest campaigns that you've been part of here in Hungary?
I've been part. I took part in mostly in global movements like Occupy and Anonymous, but I did some parts of the student movement or the student network here in Hungary, and I worked with Ligetvédők, the Budapest City Park protectors, Occupy Budapest City Park, and I'm working with Democracy International also, so we can say that I'm a freelance activist.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for the Hungarian democracy today?
I think the biggest challenge is that maybe we have a democratic framework of a legal framework, but we don't have the mindset and the culture, the know-how of democracy. Not even not for a real democracy. Even for a representative democracy, which I don't accept as a real democracy, but we don't have the right mindset to work with or live with representative democracy even. So I think the problem is cultural mostly. And I think that movements can help this. I don't think that this can be solved from up to bottom. It only can be solved from the bottom up.
Yeah. So how can we, what can we do to create a more democratic culture and more democratic mindset for people here in Hungary?
Yes, I think that movements have a great part in it, or should have, but sadly we have activists here in Hungary who are saying that it is not they think that it is not their business to formulate the public debate or creating issues. They want to leave it to the parties. I think that this is outrageous because they misunderstand the basics of movements. I think that movements are for social sculpture, so they are for creating issues, formulate the public debate, formulate the thinking of the people, bring in new ideas, new issues, bring in new techniques like direct democratic forums or occupying public spaces or just partying politically like this is happening now nowadays in Budapest. They are organizing protests, and after they occupy a big intersection and just party over there and dancing, and when the music stops they shouting the chants or the slogans, then start to dance again.
It's a new way of claiming a public space, really.
Yes. And I think it can be seen as not really how can I say that, so it's not so serious as most people consider a thing a serious one, but I think they are wrong, because it is serious business in the sense of techniques, and in the sense of experiencing the freedom and the democracy and claiming the public, the commons, the public spaces in physical and non-physical aspects of it.
We heard yesterday that there's a very low level of trust in public institutions, and that it's been going down, like also in media, in the government. How do you think we can change that?
Oh, it's a hard question. So the movements have a part in this also, but I think they have this distrust because the system, the mainstream parties and the parliament, the mainstream media doesn't really represent the people. They are representing the so-called 1%, or the interests of the 1% or 10, the upper 10%, and people are always whining about populism, things like that. But when we have a system which is called democratic but is not, then you will have right wing and left wing and populists and whatever. So I think for rebuild to rebuild the public trust, to find ways to experience and use our own creative potential, maybe.